Okay, hello Taurus. How are you guys doing today? We are going to do your beginning of August 2025 reading. Okay, let's get into it. I'm gonna be using my angel card deck to get started to see what guidance there is from the archangels at this time. And then we will get into your tarot for the month. Let's see what wants to come out. We're moving into a really big month, astrologically speaking, for August. We have the Lionsgate portal happening on the 8th, as well as the full moon in Aquarius on the 9th. So feel free to check out my August astrology video if you want to hear more about that. Otherwise, let's see what wants to come out in your reading. Wow. Wow. Really beautiful energy here. So we have divine order. Everything is how it needs to be right now. Look past the illusion and see underlining order. Career transition. Your life purpose is triggering a blessed career change. And courage. Be courageous and stand up for your beliefs. And then we also have patience on the bottom here. Your dreams are blooming more rapidly than you realize. They need nurturing and patience. Get comfy, girl. Lay down. There she goes. Featuring Sora today, my actual baby. Okay. Anywho, so it feels like you are really in this period of being divinely guided by the angels. You are being asked to be courageous and to trust the process and to move with patience and stillness. Of course, like put in the action and use that courageous energy, but once you take the actions, just be confident in like the choices you're making and allow yourself to, if a new opportunity comes or if there is interviews, like do them, but then it's also like once you do them, stay in that energy of like excitement about the future and that confidence that you need to move forward with that patience energy. And we have prosperity underneath that. So yeah, I feel like it's really just like you're doing all the right things, you're taking the steps forward, and just be patient and allow things to unfold. Yeah. I feel like that was a little choppy, but hopefully you got the point. We do have Mercury retrograde, and I'm having a lot of retrograde like moments, so just bear with me here. I'm feeling it in my communication today, so. All right, anywho, let's see where we're gonna go for your tarot this month. Ooh. Okay, so that one came out first. Okay, so this is technically in the past. This could be the recent past. You already out the gate have the Ten of Cups, the Ace of Swords, and let's see what's next. The Seven of Wands, the Six of Swords, wow, okay, the Eight of Cups, wow, okay, I'm getting a lot of messages here. Let's see. I'm gonna, obviously, of course, well, probably not obvious. Anyways, I'm gonna show you each card and explain it to you. So just give me a second. What is happening in the near future? Let's see. So when I'm looking at the past, it's like usually a recent past or a past that is like significant right now or like has relevance to the energies that you're experiencing right now. Eventually I'm going to play around with different different spreads, but right now I've been really loving this spread and just like how all these readings kind of become one cohesive, energetic experience and story. And I love like being a Pisces, of course, too. I just love the flow of it and that it's like very ever expansive and there's like no bounds to it, you know? Okay. Interesting. Okay. What is the advice moving forward here before I get into this reading? Okay, so I feel like in the past, Ten of Cups, the Ace of Swords, and the Seven of Wands, I feel like, okay, there's just a couple different storylines happening here. So I feel like you could have been maybe given this perspective of like this opportunity to create something new and bright and beautiful, like in terms of I think career, but also this could be like seeing this opportunity for love could also be something that's triggering you to make changes in your life. And with that Ace of Swords, I think it's giving you this perspective shift and like clarity in your mind. I do want to pull one card on each of these to kind of see what's going on underneath the surface of them to get a little bit more depth here. So let's look at the Ten of Cups and see, that's too many, what's underneath that. But in the present moment, you do have the Six of Cups, or the Six of Swords, the Eight of Cups, and then the Five of Wands. So I feel like you ultimately are moving forward. And this all goes back to the beginning of this reading. I feel like this is mostly career focused. But again, I feel like this idea of this like new era of your life opening up, it could be triggering a death and transformation. So yeah, let's keep going. Six of Swords is moving forward and the Eight of Cups is walking away from something towards the Ace of Cups. But you could be having some internal conflict about this, maybe feeling like, did I make the right decision? Am I making a mistake? Etc., etc. And I feel like with the going back to the original cards that we pulled, Divine Order, Career Transition, and Courage, you're being asked to trust the process and like trust yourself in making these bigger decisions to move you forward and not allowing that like internal conflict that comes up with leaving something that was good behind. Not allowing that internal conflict to stop you from moving forward, essentially. So let's look at this. What is this Ten of Cups here representing? I want to see kind of the deeper what's going on underneath the surface of that. Let's see. We're gonna let the cards fall where they may. Fall where they may. Interesting. That could be a message for someone. Let the cards fall where they may. Okay. Seven of Swords in reverse. Okay, so I feel like you may have had situations in the past that were painful, or there could have been some, like, someone not being truthful or something along those lines. But I feel like you see how in this deck it says hope and reflection. I feel like there's been time for you to process and release that, which is ultimately what's bringing alignment in for this bigger opportunity. All right, one on the Ace of Swords, please. One on the Ace of Swords here. Please and thank you. Good. That was 3, 4 even, so let's keep shuffling. That was 2. Okay, I'm gonna take it. The Wheel of Fortune and the Ten of Wands in reverse. Wow. Okay. So again, yeah, something that was a burden in the past is ultimately, like, I feel like you're receiving karmic repayment. It feels like a clearing of the decks, like, because of these lessons and these burdens and releasing them, you're like calling in a new cycle into your life. Now let's see what this Seven of Wands is. What are we, I want to specifically ask, I think I want to use this deck for that, but what are we having our guard up towards? Or yeah, what are we creating kind of this wall with? Let's see. Healing, okay. We're creating a wall towards healing. The Queen of Wands. Okay. Star card, yeah, okay. The King of Wands, the Judgment card, the Empress card. I'm getting the sense that you may have had a connection in the past that you needed to heal from, and I feel like okay, there's one storyline where you could be blocking a healing to move towards a feminine, but I'm more so picking up for the majority of the collective that it's more so like you are no longer accepting like less than you deserve, and that you're healing from a past relationship and bringing in something more in alignment with you. So let's pull one of these cards on that scenario just to get more clarity. Two of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I feel like in the past there could have been an imbalance with a partner. Maybe like keeping score, or like there's just like this energy of lack in the past that I'm picking up on. Yeah, and I feel like that has taught you to, I just want to pick one card on like where are we moving forward to? Page of Swords, Page of Wands, Three of Wands, raising consciousness. Okay. So I feel like you have overcome, like I said, like I've said over and over and over again, you've overcome some hurt from the past, essentially. Some dynamics that were either like built on lack or built in like old ways of relating to others, like a place of ego more where it's like there was like a lack of give and take or reciprocity on both sides, or people were like keeping score, that kind of thing. And I feel like now you have become much more clear on the opportunities you want to take, and you're manifesting situations that are going to help you to raise your consciousness and move into a new direction with that Six of Swords moving forward. And that Eight of Cups, letting go of what doesn't serve you anymore and moving towards that Ace of Cups. So I feel like this is a combination of relationship and career. You could be moving away from old relationships, old careers, and they could be like catalyzing one another. But Five of Wands, let's look at that. Let's look a little deeper into that internal conflict. What is this internal conflict about? Again, I feel like it's just this. Okay. Wow, interesting. So we have the Chariot card, the Hierophant in reverse, and the Star card. So I get this sense that there could be some internal conflict just about like your past coming up. I feel like once you get a taste of like this healing energy, it's like it kind of awakens you to realize like that you've been accepting less than you deserve, or like interacting with it like forces you to kind of raise your vibration of like the way that you used to interact with people, and like the old beliefs you had about how relationships should be. And you're moving forward courageously into this healing energy, but throughout that I think you're just going to be like, wow, like kind of like reflecting on the past of like, wow, like why did I stay in that for so long, or something like that. And this could be related to work and relationships. I think either way, you're just having this like perspective shift. So that's really powerful and beautiful. I want to move into the extended reading and to go deeper into all of this energy, but let's talk about the future first before we do that, and then we'll go deeper. We have that Six of Wands. So again, another six card, like both of them moving forward. So it's like no doubt you are moving forward either way, which is that courage energy. And the Death card, your movement forward is causing this death and transformation into something better. But we do have that Seven of Swords here. So, and I pulled the Seven of Cups, the Three of Cups, the Ten of Wands. So I want to pull I'm getting like a very different message than kind of like what I usually get. So I just want to pull one card from my, we'll call it my unconscious deck. I want to look at what's going on underneath the surface with this deck. So I'll pull one card from this deck and then I'll tell you the storyline. Let's see what's going on here. Two of Wands, Four of Wands. Okay. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, actually. I almost feel like you in the past have maybe dealt with third-party situations and situations that were unclear or confusing, and it became a burden for you. And I feel like you are kind of like silently walking away from, do you see? Because he's like looking back at these cards in the way that I'm looking at them. and I don't usually this card is like somebody sneaking away and being negative, but I more so feel like it's like you're going through this deep transformation and you're kind of walking away quietly from situations that no longer serve you, that caused you to feel burdened or just weren't true and honest. And that could have been on both sides in some way. You know, the relationships that we call in are in ways like reflections of us. They are. It's not really a question. Um, but again, I just get this sense that they're kind of taking the lessons learned and like making a mental note with those swords. That's like air energy, um, energy going on in the mind. And I feel like, yeah, again, it's like taking the lessons learned and making a mental note of them and manifesting a new situation in your life. And with this Two of Wands, I always get this energy with this card that this kind of validates there were maybe power games at play in past relationships and connections, or an imbalance of power. And we're walking away from that and stepping into the Four of Wands, which is like relationships or situations that nourish us and lift us up. So that's really beautiful energy. If this is your reading and you want to continue into the extended, feel free to follow me over there. We're going to look deeper into this death and transformation, and kind of like the movement forward that you're going to be going into. And I want to ask more deeply about this Chariot Hierophant and look into kind of what you have learned and what you're letting go of. And then we'll do some oracle cards and close out the reading. But yeah, that's it. See, I'm telling you, there's something going on in my communication today. It's a little choppy. That's okay though. Um, I'm gonna have a bunch of different videos linked below if you'd like to check them out. I recently did an ancestor message, as well as the astrology overview, like I told you. And I did a twin flame reading recently, so feel free to check those out. If you'd like a private reading from me, the link in the description box is also below. And yeah, I hope to see you guys soon. And yeah.